What does it mean to age successfully? Successful aging has been a hot topic in Singapore over the last few decades due to the increase in the aging population. According to Rotamo and colleagues in 2019, being actively engaged in life is of essence to successful aging. Social engagement is of a particular focus in Singapore due to the increasing concern of senior loneliness. In response to this, the government has increased the capabilities of active aging centres, also known as AACs, in order to keep seniors active and healthy, with social engagement being one of the key aspects. So actually, what do you think of AACs?
I think initially I didn't have a lot of thoughts about it. I just assumed that it is one of those buildings at the below your HDB, and then family members can drop off their senior members for them to just do activities and make friends.
Yeah, I think I agree. I always thought that it was just a place where seniors go and hang out with their friends. Yeah, and based on my past experience, when I went to AAC when I was in secondary school, I always felt like the activities were a bit repetitive. You always get bingo and
always
stuff.
The same few things.
Yeah, similar activities. Yeah, and then so I feel that maybe it's a bit underutilized also. I'm not very sure whether a lot of elderly actually go down to the centres and make use of the services. Yeah.
Yep. So to find out more about what AACs actually are, there was a site visit scheduled to Evergreen Active Aging Centre for us to learn more.
We visited the Evergreen Active Aging Centre located in Tampines West on a Saturday morning. We were greeted by Mr. Jimmy Tan, the person in charge, who told us more about what they did. Specifically, the AAC serves about 2,000 residents aged 60 and above who are residing in that area. That day, they had collaborated with Orchard Presbyterian Church to organise a birthday celebration for those born between January to March. There were fun activities such as singing songs and picture-based games like Guess the Object and Spot the Elements. There was also a cake cutting session with tokens given out at the end. As volunteers, we were there to befriend the seniors and participate in the games with them.
So what was the most memorable thing about the site visit to you?
Yeah, I think for me, I had a chat with this lady when she was there. So I asked her, why was she here at the AAC? And actually, she immediately started telling me about how lonely she felt at home. So she was telling me that she lived in an area, her husband has passed away, and she lives alone with her son. But her son is always working till very late hours, so he's only ever back at 12. And so she finds herself having to deal with being alone and being very lonely throughout these extended hours, right? And it got her very emotional, just talking about this. She had tears in her eyes. She was very, very upset about sharing this story with me. And so I think a very key takeaway from this site visit was that I think in theory, the things that we learn, social engagement is very, very important. But seeing it in real life really amplifies why exactly that is the case. So I think it's a very first-hand experience to see just how talking about it and recounting such experiences can drive a lot of negative reactions. And in fact, it had me thinking about my own grandmother, who also lives alone. And so she also doesn't really have a lot of friends. She spends a lot of time, days even, alone, and there's no one for her to really talk to. Yeah. So I think that was quite eye-opening.
Yeah, I think similar, it got me thinking about my grandma as well. So I think that you can tell the seniors in the centre were very actively engaged and they were very participative, especially during the games. You can see that all of the seniors were super enthusiastic. Yeah, so that was really nice to see, and I feel like it's a bit of a contrast to my grandmother, who has been a bit more disengaged in the recent years, especially ever since she retired, because she used to go to community clubs to sing and even participate in singing competitions quite a lot of times last time.
So cute.
Yeah, but ever since she was retired and her health worsened, she's been, I guess, becoming a bit more disengaged. And you know how we learn about the engagement theories? Yeah, so I feel like the seniors in the AACs were definitely more actively engaged, while my grandmother has been shown more disengagement. And I feel like this has definitely resulted in her becoming a bit more reserved and low in mood and energy.
Yeah, I agree. And then my grandma is also always very lonely, so she doesn't have the energy to do things. And then she's always saying, can y'all come visit me? Can y'all call me? And I think that's a very big contrast to the seniors that we saw in the active aging centres, who were very engaged and they had people to talk to that weren't just their family members. I think it's quite inspiring to think about the ways that AACs can benefit our grandparents in their challenges of dealing with social isolation.
Yeah, and I guess hopefully we want to help them to maintain the activity levels while also connecting with others to combat this loneliness that they might face in their old age. Yeah, so I guess taken together, this can help to ensure that our loved ones can age successfully.
Here's to successful aging!
Thank you!